All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to do a brain activity our left brain, right brain activity that's going to involve positive and negative space. So I want you to turn to your sketchbook to the back of a drill page and right at the top, you can use pencil or marker, label it positive, negative, number 1, because depending on your class, you may be doing 1 or 2 of these. So we're just going to label it positive or negative, number 1. So, how you're going to do this. You should have in front of you the laminated chair, the laminated directions. I've got mine that are unlaminated because it's a little easier for you to read here on the computer. You should have from your table bin, so I'm sitting at blue table, so I have the blue table bin. You should grab a graphite stick, an eraser, and a smudge paper or a smudge cloth. It's actually, I think, called the chamois cloth. But we're just going to call it the smudge cloth because that's what we're going to use it for. So, we're going to read the directions here together. So, one common problem in starting a drawing is decided how big to make the first shape. If you draw the first shape too large, the subject of your drawing will go off the page. If you draw the first shape too small, the subject will sit in the center of the page, and then you must deal with unintended, empty surrounding area. Choosing what I call a basic unit as a starting shape will help solve this problem and enable you to end with the composition you intended to draw. So, what we are going to be dealing with is positive and negative space. Now, what positive and negative space is that positive space is where something actually is. So think positive, it's where something is. Negative space is the space around the object. So it's the space where nothing is. It's negative, there's nothing there. So the trick to what we're going to do today to kind of get that left brain out of kind of uncomfortable again is we are going to draw the spaces around the chair. So we're not going to draw the chair, we're going to draw the spaces around the chair. And I know this is going to be tricky, so watch right now, and do not do this as I'm doing it. I want you to watch, because right now your left brain is activated because I am talking to you. So we want to make sure that our left brain is not active when we're doing this. So let's go, follow the steps. So first, we're lightly going to draw crosshairs with your number 2 pencil. So you're going to take your pencil, and you'll notice that there are crosshairs. That's this kind of X in the middle of the page here. So here you're going to do the best you can to just give yourself that crosshair so you can see top, bottom. So you've kind of divided that page into 4. It doesn't have to be perfect. Don't get out rulers. Just do it really quickly to get that crosshair. Now, the next step says to set a ground. So what a ground is a background color. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to take these graphite sticks. You're going to pretty much scribble. See how I'm using kind of the side of the charcoal, and I'm not pressing super hard. So that I'm just setting this kind of gray section in the entire thing. Then I'm going to take my smudge cloth and I'm going to smudge it. Okay, so that kind of there's this light gray going on my entire paper. Okay. So then what we're going to do is you've got the chair. And what you're going to do is look at the various negative spaces of the chair. Choose one basic unit or starting shape. So you're going to look at this grid that's on here, and you're going to choose a starting shape. Now this time around, here's where the weirdness comes in. You are not going to draw using your pencil. You are going to draw using your eraser. So, if I look at this shape here, and remember I'm drawing the negative shape, so I'm drawing the spaces where the chair is not. Let me use this image so you can see a little bit better. So I'm drawing this space right here. So if I look at that shape, I'm going to, let's see if I can get this so you can see both. So it's right next to this box, and it kind of bends up and it bends down. See how because I have that ground, you can see my eraser marks? And I'm going to erase. Now you'll notice that where I smudge, where I scribbled a little too hard, you can still see those lines. That's fine. But you're going to erase. So I'm going to look at that shape. Now, if all else fails and I make a mistake, I can always take that smudge cloth and re-smudge. So that's got to go in more. So I'm just looking at that shape there. So as you're doing this, and then on the other side, there's this big space. So I'm going to go, but I have to leave that little positive space between them. And I'm going to erase out most of this block here. Except that comes down like this. So I'm looking at that. So I'm just drawing where the chair is not. So that comes up, and then this comes in kind of like that. And then it hits that line there. So there's going to be a lot of eraser, but you can kind of start to see how I'm drawing the chair without drawing the chair. I'm drawing the space around the chair. So you're going to have the rest of class to do this. I want you to try your best. Remember, if you make a mistake, you can always add a little bit more graphite. You can always add some more smudging. If there's not enough graphite on your smudge cloth, you can always just scribble in a little bit more and smudge it so that you can redo a section. I want you to erase out as much of the white space as possible, as much of the negative space. So all of the background and all of these little spaces inside the chair. Now, if you've got a really small space, that's why I give you brand new erasers. You and one other class are the only people who have used these. You can use kind of the tip of the eraser to draw a line or a little space. See, I'm using just the tip of that eraser. If all else fails and that eraser tip starts getting low, you can always just erase in a regular spot to sharpen it again. So that's how we sharpen erasers. We erase in kind of two directions towards that corner so that we get that corner back so that we can erase with it. Okay? Little spaces, work your way around. If you have time and you want to kind of challenge yourself, you can even work on the little white spaces inside the chair that you can see. All right, so this is a right brain drawing. So absolutely no talking. Get yours set up, get started, and I or my sub will give you a 5-second warning that there will be then absolutely no talking, not even whispering. Zero talking, no using that left brain. Let's do some more right brain drawings.